Goal of this training today is to show you how to assign mats so that you go from youngest to oldest and establish your sessions and also communicate which wrestlers are wrestling in which session to your team admins so that they can send it out to their teams along with yourself. Hopefully you reviewed all of the groups with your other coaches. Now it's time to assign mats and sessions. So you're going to go to bracketing and then go to mats. You'll see that you have all the mats here. Remember, if you're only doing 4 sessions, you're going to want to get rid of the 2 E's. If you're only doing 3 sessions, you're going to want to get rid of the D's and the E's. The session is the letter and the mat is the first one. So I'm going to continue with all 5 and I'm going to go to assign mats. And then what you'll see is it'll actually try to do something, and it's not always the best. So what you want to do is, because you don't want 13-year-olds wrestling on the same mat as 7-year-olds, what you want to do is go down to this, instead of just optimize, go to maintain order and optimize, and then hit apply order. So now what you'll see is that all your 6-year-olds are over on mat 1A, and then all of your 13-year-olds are on mat. We're going to want to make sure that we hit save all. So at this point, basically all of your weight classes are assigned to a mat, which in essence is assigned to a session. This being session A, this being session B. So now what we have to do is to create a list so that we can send out to others. And unfortunately, it's not the smoothest process, but I did find a couple reports that will help us. The very first report that we need to do is to generate which wrestlers belong to which weight class. The best way to do that is you can go into registration, go to printing, and there is a weigh-in sheet report. If you click on that, you'll notice that it gives you this information, and we're actually not going to change any of that. But what we will do is we're going to sort first by group, which will be the age, and then we're going to sort by weight class. We're also going to skip the page break, so we're going to hit no page breaks. Hit view weigh-in sheet, we'll get this nice little list of everything that we need. Copy everything out of this by Control C and highlighting. Come to an Excel sheet, and if you hit Control V, which is just everything, it's going to try to put it in one, which unfortunately you don't want. So what you want to do is paste special values, so Alt E S, and that's Unicode text. And then I'll actually paste everything here. I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger so I can see it. Okay, so what's nice here is it is in order. It starts with the first weight class in group 6, 35, 39, and it goes all the way to the bottom to the last age group and the last weight class. So the only thing I really need to do is to add a session number here. So to do that, I actually can go use another report and do some manipulation. So here I'm going to go to bracketing, go to printing, and then I'm actually going to do mat schedules. I'm going to take the weight class and change that to mat first. Then I'm going to do weight class, and I'm going to get rid of the page break as well. I then hit go, and you'll see a nice little list of this. So I then am going to copy all of these as well, and I'm actually going to paste them into the same spreadsheet off to the side a little bit. So I'm going to actually paste them here. 2 things you'll notice. One, they're not sorted in the order that I need them. And the second thing, I actually have a lot of duplicates. So what I want to do is first get rid of the duplicates. So I can do that by actually hovering over the data. I could also highlight it like this as well. Go to data, remove duplicates. Make sure it's on both columns, which it is, and then hit OK. And that will actually give you a unique list. Now, the next thing we need to do is make sure we sort by session first, which is the letter. So in order to do that, we actually have to break away that letter. So what we're going to do is insert a column in between. We're going to highlight on this whole column, and we're going to go to data, text to columns. We keep it on delimited. And then we're going to go to this screen, and we're actually going to separate it by any dashes. So we're going to put other and hit dash, and then hit finish. As it allows me to sort first on the session, second on the mat, and then third on the weight class. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm actually going to go highlight all my data. I'm going to go to data and then sort. I'm going to sort first by column N, which is my session. I'm going to add a level and search by then column M, which is then the mat number. And then I'm going to search on column O, and then hit OK. For the younger ages, this seems to work fairly well. What I would do then is I would actually probably come over here, put session. You can actually get rid of the weight column. You don't need to send that out to people. And then what you're going to do here is the session's going to be A, B, C, or D, or E. So I can start off with session A. I can see very quickly that session A ends with the 4752. So what I'm going to do is actually go to 7 4752 and then I'm done. So now I'm going to look at my B's, and my last B is the 6268. So I'm going to want to take my B's all the way to 6268, and let's see where that is. So 86268. So that's my last one. So then when I get to tens, because of wonderful text sorting, it sorts the tens first. You'll see the tens are here, and then they go down here. So what you need to do is find your latest 10. So if you look at the latest 10 here, we're pretty fortunate, is 1080-82. So now I'm going to go C, and I'm going to go down to the 80-82. And then D, very similarly, you can see my biggest weight class in the D's is this 1297-103. So place D here, copy my D, 1297-103. And then obviously everything else would be E. Nice little list. I would get rid of this because you don't need to send that to the clients, or sorry, you don't need to send that out to the parents. And then I would be hesitant on sending this information, because if you did send this, people are going to know who's wrestling who. That you might want to, it's up to you if you want to do that. You can send it just like this, and then everyone knows who's wrestling who. Or what you could do is then delete these two columns, and then all you do is you send a list over here. You could then sort by team to make it a little bit easier. And then send it out like that. If you have any questions, feel free to text me. If you're really good at doing VLOOKUPs, you can do VLOOKUPs. You'll just have to kind of trim some data, but I think this is pretty easy. If you